And a very fine good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. We are on YouTube from Highland High School in Gilbert, Arizona. We welcome you in for tonight's homecoming game between the Highland Hawks, who come in 4-0, facing off against the Westview Knights, who come in 0-3. For the Hawks, who are about to come out onto the field, the first time that they could go 5-0 could be tonight. If they beat the Westview Knights tonight, 5-0 is an attainable record. Here they come onto the field, Highland. Also, Westview looking to get their first win of the year, their first win coming at the latest time in any one of their seasons ever. They have never gone 0-4 to start a season. Alongside Jeff Griffith, I'm Jordan Lank. We welcome you in again to Highland High School in Gilbert. Jeff, a big matchup tonight, especially for the Hawks, looking to go 0-5, and a big statement game for Westview. Really was a thorn in Highland's side last year.
Yeah, you talk about a Highland side that's coming in 4-0. Close win over Brophy last week, 14-6. But don't sleep on this Westview team. 0-3 to start, but 3 really close losses by single digits to good teams: Basha, Brophy, Horizon. So they've got what it takes to win this game and hand Highland its first loss. But you've got the homecoming energy. I think Highland's gonna have to play another defensive game like they played against Brophy last week, held them at a 6. If they can do that, they should walk out of here with that 5-0 start.
You mentioned that homecoming energy. It's here. Homecoming weekend. The fans are in the stands. Got a lot of students over there in that student section to our right. We got fireworks going off. The band is playing. The choir is singing the national anthem. And we're just about ready for some football. Some keys to tonight's game. Last week, Caleb Herbert, his first start of the year for the Hawks, 8 for 16 passing, 114 yards. Of course, Herbert, the nephew of BYU Heisman winner Ty Detmer. The Hawks really couldn't get anything going offensively yesterday, last week, as you see the coin toss on the field. The leading rushers this year for Highland, who have really been the majority of the offense for the Hawks: Connor Cullimore, Dayton Huffman, and Jacob Wood. The three-headed monster, Cullimore, with 218 yards on the season, averaging 5.7 yards per carry, and Jacob Wood really taking the brunt of the carries, 242 yards in total. He's their power back for 6.7 yards per carry.
You know, Jordan, you talk about these 3 backs, as we saw in the stats the last few weeks. Rushing-minded team for Highland. About 2/3 of their offense, as we saw from the stat sheets, comes out of the rushing game, and I think you have to establish that early if you want to get the offense going after last week's 14-point performance, because obviously the defense got it done last week, but you can't always count on that, especially against a talented Westview team. So if they can get the run game going early, get a little pass play going out of that, you might see some offense open up for Highland early on, and they can get the momentum.
You mentioned, Jeff, the running-minded team for Brock Farrell. Caleb Herbert, a quarterback, as opposed to Mason Trail, the quarterback who started in the first 3 games of the season. Herbert's a guy that likes to run, much like his uncle, who liked to run it at BYU, also in the NFL. We'll see what Herbert has in store for us tonight against the Westview Knights, as both teams seem to be getting ready for the opening kickoff. We haven't gotten word up here yet as to who will be receiving the ball to start the game.
It looks like it'll be Westview kicking off, just the way they're forming out here. So that'll be a Highland starting first. You've got to look for a strong run game to start here. If they can establish that, like I said, momentum's in their hands, and that's the big key in a high school game like this. You really got to get the momentum going on offense in order to have a strong start.
And it will be Highland receiving the ball. Connor Cullimore, one of the returners, If our rosters are correct, that is Brandon Gonzalez, a junior, 6 foot, 155 pounds, out there to kick off for the Knights. Jacob Wood also on the return team for the Hawks. As you see Westview getting ready to kick it away. Gonzalez getting ready to go. Looks like he is ready. And the homecoming game here in Gilbert, Arizona at Highland High School is underway. The end of the end zone for a touchback for the Hawks. That'll give a chance to Caleb Herbert and the Highland offense to get onto the field. Let's take a look at their offense.
Little shotgun look here for the Hawks. three wide to the left.
Herbert setting up in shotgun. A high snap over his head into the end zone. And Herbert's going to try to do something of it, and he's unable to. Out of the back of the end zone for a safety, so not the way that Highland would have liked to start the game.
Really just a bad snap there. Flies right over his head. Emulative of the Super Bowl 48 with Peyton Manning. A little early start. 2-0 in favor of Westview there on that safety. Not the way you want to start, like you said, Jordan, for Highland. But it's one play. We'll see. I'm sure a lot of jitters playing into that early miscue on the snap. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was some miscommunication on the line or not sure what happened, but Herbert just couldn't get a handle on it. It was over his head, clearly. So, of course, Highland's going to have to punt the ball away. Westview's offense will get a chance to start this game as if Highland had never taken the field in the first place.
Yeah, huge start for Westview in terms of momentum. They're going to get, you defer to the second half. You get the ball essentially right out of the gate with a 2-0 lead 7 seconds in. So you couldn't ask for a much better start if you're the Knights.
We'll see Austin McNamara on the field now for the Hawks. As we've mentioned in prior broadcasts, McNamara, one of the premier legs in the 6A region, or division, excuse me, Arizona football. McNamara getting ready to boot it away. A good punt out to about the 34-yard line of the Knights, and they'll field it. Taken out of bounds around midfield.
Field position, obviously a key aspect of a high school game. So a huge start for Westview, getting the ball inside Highland territory, really winning the field position battle early. Got the lead. We'll see if the offense can build off that momentum in the D.
We'll see quarterback Scott Fowlers for Westview. 6'1" senior weighing 175 pounds.
Another spread out formation out of the shotgun here for the Westview Knights.
Will give to the back. Runs to the outside, has some space, and is finally down around the 16-yard line of the Hawks.
Beautiful vision and patience in the backfield, following those blocks and the sweep to the left. Beautiful run to start the game for the Knights. Really used his blockers well to get outside and break into some open space. Good open field tackle there to kind of ease the damage, but still inside the red zone on the second play offensively.
That's Albert Curry for the Knights, 5'9" junior, 185 pounds. Westview, a little end-around action. Another hand to Curry for no gain.
And Curry coming off the side there. A little different look, throwing some different schemes of the Highland defense. We'll see what starts working for them. Obviously, Curry's a gifted back, so we'll see how they kind of use him out of the backfield there. Obviously, coming off the left side with a sweep in that 1st and 10. Short gain, but still a good use of the premier back.
Fowler's going with the shotgun again. Rolling to his right, looking for a man. Spins, and the ball's knocked loose. It looks like Westview comes up with it. A nice job by Fowlers to jump back on that ball before it gets away.
Yeah, you gotta credit that play there to good coverage in the secondary. Fowlers had nowhere to go, had to scramble out to the right, gets rocked along the sideline, and that could have been costly, but recovers. Westview ball now. 3rd and long, inside, just outside the red zone.
3rd and 15 for the Knights here. And on 3rd down, we have seen it over and over again here at the Nest. Hawks fans know how to do it. Fowlers, the give, taken down inside the 20-yard line at about the 17. That's number 26, Jacob Olivas.
Yeah, it's that same play we saw on the first play of the drive, a little sweep to the left. Got good blocking again, but a nice open field tackle to save that one from breaking out towards the end zone. Bring it up 4th down.
Nice tackle there by Jacob Wood, one of the premier players on both offense and defense for the Hawks. 9:37 remaining in the first quarter as Westview's special teams unit will come out.
We saw him making from as long as 50 in pregame, so we'll see he hits from the 35 here. Looking like a timeout for Westview.
So a Westview timeout sets up a 35-yard field goal for Brandon Gonzalez. And for Brock Farrell's team, if you're coming off that safety, this is a pretty good way to minimize damage.
Yeah, I mean, the way Westview started this game, you get the safety, you get the ball right at near midfield, a beautiful 30-plus yard run off the left side. So the fact that Highland's able to kind of stop the bleeding a little bit and hold Westview to as small as a 5-0 lead, and potentially with a made field goal, that's at least something to hang your hat on going forward, that it could have been a lot worse the way this game started. Rather long timeout.
Looks like the Knights offense has come back out onto the field. Westview going for it on fourth down. Fowler's a man in motion. The play is blown dead. Yeah, false start on the offense.
Maybe it's just me, but I think you have to kick in this situation. I mean, the kicker was making it from 50 earlier before the game, so 4th and 16 does not seem like the kind of time you're going to want to go for it, but we'll see what the Knights decide to do. It looks like the kicker's coming out here.
Now a field goal unit will come back onto the field. We'll see Brandon Gonzalez. The snap, the hold, the kick. It is up and wide right. No good for the Knights. A great job by the Hawks to minimize the damage to just the 2 points so far in the ballgame.
Yeah, you talk about minimizing that damage. It looked like it was Westview's game to blow open there, and when they got that first play from scrimmage down the left sideline. But here they are, getting the stop on the missed field goal. I think you got to credit that to pressure off the left side that forced him to go to his right, and he missed it wide right. So huge start on the defensive end for a Highland defense that has been looking pretty strong the last couple weeks.
Caleb Herbert and company back out onto the field for the Hawks. They'll take over around the 20-yard line. Excuse me, at the 20-yard line. Herbert lining up with 3 receivers out to his left. The snap and the give to the running back. That's Dayton Huffman, number 2. Again, we mentioned Dayton Huffman in the pregame show, a very talented member of that 3-headed monster for the Hawks, along with Connor Cullimore and Jacob Wood. Looks like Wood is coming on now.
Yeah, that's that
Cullimore
run game you got
also
to
on the
establish. Got to establish that early and often, especially with 3 talented backs.
The snap to Herbert and the give to Cullimore. Cullimore finds some space outside, breaks free, and is finally wrestled down around the 43-yard line.
That's the kind of run play you want to see if you're Highland. I mean, Cullimore breaking some tackles, beautiful blocking, similar to what we've seen Westview bring with the sweep off to the outside. So just what you want to see to get that first down out of Cullimore.
So 1st and 10 now. Caleb Herbert performing well so far, as is the running game for the Hawks. To give again to Wood this time. Wood breaks to the outside, and he's got space to run, but it's knocked out around the 40-yard line of the Knights.
Chalk that one up to patience there, Jordan. Westview got some good pressure into the backfield, but he knew he had space to the left side, got out there, and really smart running to get to the first down marker.
Highland playing a slower game than we've seen in the past. Normally Brock Farrell's team likes to get to the line and go, go, go. A noticeably slower pace this week against Westview.
3 wide to the right.
Herbert a screen complete to Ty Bryant. Breaks a couple of tackles and is wrestled down around the 35-yard line of the Knights.
Nice little shake and bake there on the sideline on that bubble screen. Beautiful blocking by his fellow receivers to get him some space. Nice little move for the first down. Not bad.
For those of you that have joined us in past weeks for our live streams here at Highland, I'd like to give a big shout out to both Jordan Evans, our technical director, and Bella Cisneros, our graphics designer, as well as Amanda Foster and Alex Didion, who are not present today for their hard work to make this broadcast look as good as possible. Herbert going deep to the end zone. Did he make the catch? Incomplete.
Looked like he hesitated a little there. If he kept going, he might have had that. A little underthrown, though. Could have been thrown a little deeper.
That's Tanner Lunt. A great ball there by Herbert, though. A perfect spiral made that throw look easy.
Yeah, good throw as a whole, but, I mean, a little further there, and you might see a touchdown. Made him hesitate for just a second, and he lost a step. Those are the kind of plays that really tough to complete at the high school level, but when you can connect on them, they're huge. So, nice throw, a little underthrown.
Herbert again lining up in shotgun formation, fakes the handoff to Cullimore and hands off to Wood, it looks like. Wood breaks free, streaking towards the end zone, and into the end zone for a touchdown. Jacob Wood, some of that power running that we talked about. He adds to his rushing total on the year to make this game a 6-2 ball game in favor of the Hawks.
Outstanding running there by Wood, would not go down. Got some blocking out to the right side, and he just bowled his way through the secondary, got that extra space, and burst the speed down the sideline. Huge momentum shift for Highland. That's exactly what they needed after the start they had. I mean, about 5 minutes ago, I would have said Westview in control, Highland erasing that like in a second. So exactly what you want to see for the Hawks.
Austin McNamara out for the point after, and as we've seen most cases, is up and good.
So like we mentioned in the pregame, Jordan, go into the run game early and often, and it's working. It's wearing down the defense. I mean, that was a methodic drive, ends with a nice long touchdown score from Wood. That's really what you want to see if you have the kind of team who's got 3 good running backs. Because if you can establish that early, you're in control, especially on the offensive end, and that kind of momentum spread throughout the team. So really strong, methodic drive after that rough start.
Yeah, Wood last week named the player of the game against Brophy. Received an award on the field before tonight's game.
Not a bad week for Jacob Wood, would you say?
Not at all. Jacob, very fine young man, second oldest of 2 kids. Wood has actually participated in several invitational football camps this past summer, including BYU, where he was actually the most valuable player at the running back position as McNamara boots it away. There will be no return as the ball is into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, that touchback probably for the best for the Knights. Looked like some good pursuit there from the Highland special teams unit. So that's what you want. Got out of the 25, try to regroup after getting cut short on your first drive. Because clearly the Knights showed that they have just as good of a running game so far as the Hawks just couldn't capitalize. So I think you go back to the run game here.
We've seen it game in and game out for Austin McNamara. He kicks that ball through the back of the end zone like it's going out of style. Scott Fowlers and the Westview offense back out onto the field tonight. Give to Albert Curry, taken down at the 23-yard line.
They really like that sweep play off to the left, don't they? I mean, it works. Curry certainly got the ability to break that, as we saw earlier.
Great job by Tate Stevens there on the tackle. We hear his name a lot on the broadcast as well. 2nd and 8 now. Fowler's to give to again. The ball's loose, and Highland jumps on it. The fumble recovered by Dallin Clement. The defensive lineman for the Hawks. A great job by Clement to jump on the loose ball. You saw he just hopped on it as soon as the ball popped out.
Well, we mentioned how that first play was very emulative of that Broncos-Seahawks Super Bowl. The rest hasn't been so much. Hawks bouncing back quickly, in position to take a 2-possession lead here just outside the Knights' red zone. So that's really what you want to see if you're the Hawks. That huge fumble, great hit on that short run up the middle.
Nice hard count there by Caleb Herbert. It's got Westview off balance. Looks like he's calling an audible at the line. Herbert, a little screen to Dayton Huffman. Huffman finally tackled out of bounds.
Credit to Caleb Herbert there. I think a lot of times on a screenplay like that, it can get a little pressure on the quarterback with the blockers getting ready for the screen. So the fact that he stayed composed back there and floated it over the pursuing defenders, good play by Herbert for a short gain.
2nd and 3 now for the Hawks. 5:50 remaining in the ball game. Herbert is going to give to Cullimore, who punches it up the middle for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal from inside the 10-yard line.
Again, methodically pounding the ball up the middle. They have the horses. It's paying off.
And Jeff, we mentioned in the pregame, Highland looking to go 5-0 for the first time in school history.
Certainly off to a good start with that. And they've beaten some solid teams.
Great win opening week against Corona del Sol that set the pace, went on the road and beat a good Skyline team. As Huffman takes to the outside. Correction, that's Ty Bryant into the end zone for a touchdown.
We saw earlier on that pass play that Bryant can move with the ball in his hands, getting it done there up the left side on a little handoff. And that's a huge touchdown for Highland, really taking control of this game here in the mid-first quarter.
The crowd is excited. 13-2. McNamara on for the extra point. Kick is up and through.
Yeah, we talk about getting the offense going early. Already matched their point total from last week, and it's the first 10 minutes of the game. So that's what you want to see after a slower performance on the offensive side last week.
Great job by Ty Bryant to sweep around the edge and sneak into the end zone next to the pylon. And Jeff, you mentioned really a great job by Highland to take the reins of this game, bring it back into their favor after the opening safety.
Yeah, they did it with exactly the way we said they needed to. It was the run game. I mean, really only one or two major passes, both screens. Otherwise, it's going to those backs, letting them pound the ball and gain yard after yard and methodically drive down the field. It's working like a charm for this early 13-2 lead.
McNamara boots it away. Into the end zone for a touchback. It looks like Westview did want to try to take that back. The Knights won't have a chance, thanks to the booming leg of Austin McNamara. Now we've mentioned, Austin McNamara a couple different times on the broadcast so far. He's a 6'4 junior, 160 pounds, the number 6 punter in the nation. Rated by Chris Saylor kicking. As Albert Curry gets the carry on the ground. Tackled around the 20-yard line.
I think Highland's starting to get used to that sweep to the left. Working early on, not so much now, but I'm sure they've got some other stuff up their sleeve. Curry clearly a talented back.
Scott Fowler's and the Westview offense, not really a chance to show themselves off quite yet. Fowler's calls Curry in motion. Fowler's is going to keep it and go up the middle. Tackled by number 54, Jacob Trejo.
Yeah, you're starting to see the Highland front seven really get some good push against this Westview offensive line. Nowhere really to go for these rushers, whether it's the quarterback or it's Curry out of the backfield. You might have to see Westview start to go to the air if the front seven of Highlands keeps getting that pressure and clogging up those holes, because it's working for the defense to get in there and easily weed out these run plays.
That Hawks defensive line is what caused that fumble on their last possession. Fowler is a little dump route to Curry, who gets enough for a first down. He's tackled at the 35.
Yeah, Curry clearly knows what he's doing in space, so I think a screenplay is the perfect remedy to those running game issues that they've been having. Screenplay off of the left side, get him in some space that he's just not getting up against that front seven.
3:36 remaining in the first quarter. Fowler is rolling to his left and is going to have to scurry out of bounds at the 39. Scampers for a 4-yard gain. Second and 7 now for the Knights. Fowler is going to give to Curry. Tate Stevens in on the tackle.
Yeah, really a lack of success now. Last couple plays when they try to go up the middle, again with the clogged holes for the defensive line. You're going to have to see some similar screens that we saw on that last third down play, maybe going downfield if you want to mix it up against this defense.
3rd and 6, play action from Fowler's. Fowler's pressured in the backfield and taken down. Great job by Tyler Brady, as well as number 80, Dallin Clement, in there to make the play for the Hawks, to make it 4th and 19, and surely the Westview punting unit set to make their way onto the field for the first time tonight.
Yeah, really good pursuit and a great wrap-up tackle in the backfield by Tyler Brady, again, as the defensive line and defensive front of Highland continues to impose its will on Westview. I mean, they have 6 points to a great Brophy team last week, and it's showing up again here. They've got the defensive ability to really wear down an offense.
There's a penalty flag on the field. They're going to blow the play dead.
Look at the little delay of game. Another 5 yards.
That delay of game makes it a 4th and 24. Gonzalez gets the punt away.
Nice spiral punt there. Good distance, good, and a little return there from Highland into Westview territory. So, not bad.
Tanner Lund, a good job of making the catch under pressure. I mean, must be difficult for punt returners and kick returners to stay cool under that pressure of those opposing defenders coming at you.
Oh,
really
of course.
Trying to. All they want to do is hit you. That's their goal.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know how these guys do it. Props. I think if you're Highland now, you've got a chance to really blow this one open here late in the first quarter, already up by 2 scores. So
Ty Bryant in motion on the play. They give to Dayton Huffman, good for maybe a yard or two. 2nd and 8. Herbert's going to give it again. They give to Huffman again, a couple of yards, 3rd and 6 now.
yeah, I think you're going to have to see some kind of pass here from Herbert, whether it's a screen or something downfield, because the last 2 runs easily eaten up by the defensive front of Westview. Out of the shotgun here with 3 to the left. Looking like maybe a bubble screen.
It looks like Herbert got him to jump over on the Westview side. It'll be an offsides, which will cost the Knights 5 yards. Just 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The score, the Hawks 14 and the Knights 2. If you're just joining us, first play of the game, the snap sailed over quarterback Caleb Herbert's head into the end zone and out of the back of the end zone for a safety. And since then, the Hawks have scored 14 unanswered points and are on the march again. Herbert, play action, has Lunt wide open down the field, makes the catch at the 15, and gets into the end zone for a touchdown.
Beautiful play action read out of the pistol formation. Sold that thing like you wouldn't believe. All the credit there to Herbert selling the play action, and then of course Lunt breaks wide open because the whole defense thought run. He's got 10 yards of space, a little underthrown, but the beautiful play action read makes up for it. Easy score for Tanner Lunt.
And Herbert makes that look easy.
Yeah. A little underthrown, but it really didn't matter. I mean, he got rocked, first of all. Can't blame him for the underthrow, but the fact that he sold that play action, lots of space for Lunt to get free. Underthrow, not a big deal. Easy 6.
McNamara's point after, up and good. If you look down to the right side of your screen, you will see a Gatling gun. That is a new thing here at Highland. On the golf cart down there, firing out T-shirts for these rowdy Hawks students. Looks like there was a flag on the point after, which will back up the Hawks. They're going to have to do it again.
Jordan, if I tell you that this game will be a 19-point game at the end of the first quarter after that ball sailed to the end zone, what are you thinking?
I absolutely wouldn't believe you. I think that the momentum is really on the side of Westview. And all I can really say is Brock Farrell's team has really done an unbelievable job of fighting back into this game and really, really taking control.
And this first quarter, aside from 7 seconds in the opening play, has been all Highland. So credit to the coaching staff keeping these guys composed after that rough start.
Just 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter. If you're the Knights, Jeff, how do you approach going into the second quarter, going down 21-2? You got the ball now back in your hands, although nothing has really been able to be done on your offensive side. What are you thinking if you're over on that Knights sideline?
You know, first of all, you're down 21-2. You've got to stay composed, because if you try to force anything, it's just going to get worse. I think the key thing you do, play your game, maybe throw in some downfield attempts, some trick plays to try to get a little momentum back on your side. But one big play can get you back into this game. They have, obviously, Curry, a talented back who can break something like that. But I think it starts by just playing your game, not getting worried, not panicking, and you'll eventually you'll get back into the rhythm of things if you find some kind of momentum through whether it's a big play or just a nice methodical drive. But I don't think all hope is lost on the offensive side of the ball. Even the last several drives have been really nothing doing for Westview.
And Scott Fowlers hasn't really had a chance to show us what he's all about yet.
Yeah, the only real passing attempt in the last possession was weeded out by Brady on that sack to close the drive. So we'll see what kind of army he's got going for him on this possession. They're going to have to throw it down the field at some point if they want to get back into this one already down by 19. So we'll see. He's in the single back here, tight formation.
Fowlers will give to Bobby White. White gets knocked around and tackled at the 22.
Another run play, another minimal gain. They're eventually going to have to start mixing things up because this front for the Hawks really not fooled by any of the different run packages being thrown at them. So credit to them, but you got to mix something up a little in the run game if you're Westview.
Another tackle by Tate Stevens as we reach the end of the first quarter. Highland is really taking control of this ball game as they are up 21-2 after that first place safety by the Knights. We'll take this time to thank some of our platinum sponsors. First of all, to Todd Allen and Legacy Funeral Home. Thank you for your support. Legacy Funeral Home is there for you at your time of need. Thank you to Allen Family Medicine. Greg Allen and Allen Family Medicine, excuse me. When it comes to your family's health, Allen Family Medicine is there for you. Thank you to Nathan Davis and Davis Orthodontics for your support. They are celebrating 15 years of business with the smile you were meant to have. A big thank you to UCI Realty. For all your real estate needs, think of Alicia Holman and UCI Realty. It will help you score a touchdown when buying or selling your home. A big thank you to Desert Family Medicine. Chris Allen and Desert Family Medicine, taking care of your family's healthcare needs. Thank you to People's Mortgage and J-Ray. When you need a mortgage or have questions about lending, call J-Ray at People's Mortgage. They can help you find the answers you need. People's Mortgage. And Jeff, I was a little too caught up in those promos that we almost missed an interception there.
Yeah, I know you love those promos there, Jordan. But you finally see Fowler's arm. A little overthrow there, almost paid for it. It looked to me like he had a foot in bounds, but refs saw it differently. It's going to be a 3rd and long here for Westview. Probably another passing down if you're Westview on a key possession where you could really get back into this game or see it continue to get out of hand.
Nice job by Jalen Johnson on that last play. Tried to get a foot in bounds, couldn't do so. Fowler's a snap over his head now. He's got to corral it around the 5. Fires it down the field. Incomplete.
Well, that looked familiar. A little less of a penalty there for the long snap, but still going to be a 4th down that you really don't want to have if you're Westview. Another 3 and out, another punt. So, again, the Highland defense imposing its will, looking strong. I mean, really no points scored by this Westview offense. Closest they came was that missed field goal. So, I mean, credit to the Hawks on defense for really putting a clamp on this game.
Gonzalez boots it away. Lunt back to return. He's going to let it bounce, and he'll pick it up. Gains a couple of yards, of flag down on the play.
Maybe in the area of a hold or a block in the back against Highland, but we'll see. Looked like a bit of a run into the kicker there on the punt, but nothing called there. Really no harm done, just a little incidental contact. We'll see what this flag is for.
Looks like the flag is on Highland. So the return will be backed up. Most of the Highland players around the 30-yard line. Got to think that the referees will end up marking the ball down around there. Looks like they'll mark it at the 41.
So about a 10-yard penalty, probably a hold. I didn't see the signal. That's on me. But 10 yards would be in the area of holding. So could be worse if you're Highland. 10 yards back to your own 41.
Especially with the momentum. Up 19 points.
Empty backfield look here for Highland. Curve it out of the shotgun.
Herbert immediately looking right and completes to number 8, Elliott Moe.
A little curl route there. Little pitch and catch. It's easy as that. 7 yards. Little relaxed coverage from the corners makes for that a little easier to complete out on the right sideline.
Herbert again lining up with 3 receivers. However, a running back in the backfield with him. That is Jacob Wood. Play action. Herbert going deep again down the field looking for Lunt. Complete. And down at the 19-yard line.
Love the play call. Tanner Lunt gets into the slot, right up the seam, finds some open space. A nice route, great throw, put it on his hands. Huge gain. You're starting to see the passing game get developed here for Highland. On top of the run game, not much Westview can do, especially when you've got Tanner Lunt getting wide open in the seam. So it's another easy 30 yards. A little pistol look here from the Hawks.
Looks like a late play call coming in from the sideline. Herbert the snap. Play action again over the middle. Complete to Riley Bond, the tight end.
The big boy getting a little 5-yard gain. Sorry, 10-yard gain. Not bad.
Nice job by Herbert to find his man, Riley Bond. Over the middle for the first down. Herbert the snap. The give to Huffman. Stopped just short of the goal line. Nice play call by Brock Farrell. Punch the ball a little bit closer.
Yeah, good little run up the middle. Just trying to punch this ball in the end zone and build this lead here in the second quarter. Everything's working on both sides of the ball for Highland, so there's not really anything that you could say, oh, do this, don't do this. It's all working, so anything they can do here.
The give on the edge. Huffman into the end zone for a touchdown.
Good job reading the blockers by Huffman to get in the end zone. Jumped right over one into the goal, across the goal line. 27-2 now, barring with the extra point upcoming. So, good drive.
Good couple of passes there we saw from Caleb Herbert. Haven't really seen that since he started last week. Again, we mentioned earlier a lot of running by the Highland offense to start off Herbert's regime as the starter. But on that drive, Herbert really highlighted his arm, able to find Tanner Lunt and Riley Bond as McNamara kicks the extra point up and through.
Another great drive for the Hawks. And really just imposing their will on both sides of the ball. Have to be impressed with what they're doing offensively. They've already doubled their point total from last week's win over Brophy, well on their way to that historic 5-0 start. Really strong performance on offense. And a great job by Herbert. He's had 2 huge throws. It's not just the run game, like we talked about the pregame. Herbert had some nice throws, 2 of which to Tanner Lunt for the touchdown and the big play up the middle for that 40-yard gain. So everything's working, Jordan.
Take a look at that student section, Jeff. It's right here to our right. You're seeing it there in the middle of your screen. This place is packed for homecoming. A big game for the Hawks, looking to go 5-0 for the first time in high school history.
It's impressive turnout tonight. I mean, the energy's there. They've got a lot to root for with this 4-0 start, looking like it could very well become a 5-0 start. So a lot to be excited about if you're a Hawk fan, and a lot to be excited about particularly tonight with this 28-2 lead.
9:23 remaining in the second quarter as McNamara gets ready to kick it away. McNamara's kick into the end zone for a touchback. We have received a special shout out tonight. Thank you, a big thank you to Rosati's Chicago Style Pizza for providing the pizza for tonight's game down at the concession stands. Taste the tradition of authentic Italian flavor in every bite. Located at 2235 South Power Road, 1.5 blocks south of Baseline Road in the Kiowa Village Shopping Center. Call 480-214-3233 or order online at rosatispizza.com/Mesa. /Mesa. Again, that's Rosati's Pizza, ROSATIS pizza.com/Mesa.
Nothing doing there on first down, a little run up the middle for the Knights. Excuse me. We'll see what they bring here out of the pistol with three wide to the left.
Scott Fowler is a pass complete. To Caden Staples. First time we've called his name tonight. A 5'10 junior weighing in at 165 pounds.
Yeah, it's a nice play call. They've got 3 out to the left. A lot of the coverage there for off to the left side, and a little curl route by Staples. Gets a nice quick gain, setting up a 3rd and manageable from the 25-yard line.
Ryan Martinez in on the tackle.
Again out of the pistol here for the Knights.
Fowler's looking right, scrambling, in trouble, and throws the ball away.
This Westview offensive line struggling to contain these athletes from the Hawks' defensive front. Another play where Fowler's is forced to scramble out to his right because of the relentless pursuit from the guys in black. So really strong defensive line showing here is just causing a multitude of problems for the Westview offense, namely in the passing game.
4th and 5 now, and we'll see Brandon Gonzalez for the 3rd consecutive drive. Again, it looks like Tanner Lunt back around midfield, ready to return the punt. It'll be over Lunt's head and take a bounce at the 39. It'll take a nice Westview bounce inside the 30, and the Knights will down it at the 28-yard line.
A very favorable bounce for the Knights on that end-over-end punt. Flag out there. It's like a personal foul against Westview. It's going to be 15 more yards for the Hawks, and kind of negating that nice roll there on the punt.
Well, it's a nice night here at the Nest at Highland High School. Just 89 degrees. That's unheard of.
Maybe to you, Jordan. I grew up in Pennsylvania. Tonight it's probably 50 back at my high school.
Goodness gracious, this is beautiful. This is great football weather. I remember last week we were out here and it was in the mid-90s, upper 90s.
That's just not right.
As they give the ball to Connor Cullimore. Looks like he gets enough for the first down, and they will indeed move the chains. No, but Jeff, 89 degrees, being from Pennsylvania must be Honestly, that's what you get in the springtime on a hot day playing baseball. You don't get that playing football.
No, sir. I had many a cold night at my high school watching some games. Another high snap there.
Caleb Herbert takes to the left side. Is going to take it himself. We talked about before the game, Herbert is a guy that likes to run.
Unfortunately for the Hawks, that'll likely be a hold there off to the left side.
And indeed, it will be a hold. Seven minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the first half. The score 28-2 in favor of the Highland Hawks.
All holding penalties aside, that was a nice run by Herbert. I mean, you talk about a three-headed monster. Throw him into that mix, make it 4. He's got the legs.
A dual threat for the Hawks. Obviously, their quarterback, he can toss it a little bit too, as he does there. Complete to the right side.
A great wrap-up tackle to save what could have been a huge gain for Highland.
That's Cody Zimmerman. A nice job by Zimmerman to get a couple of extra yards after the catch there. 2nd and 6 for Highland. Herbert lining up in shotgun formation. With 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. But he's going to give it to Cullimore, who breaks through the line and is tackled around the 16-yard line. Again, that running game is really setting up the passing game tonight for the Hawks.
Well, on this occasion, you've got to credit the O-line. I mean, we talk about the defensive line of Highland imposing its will, but that hole was gaping for him to run through. He had no one near him, untouched for the first at least 10, 15 yards, thanks to a great push by the offensive line, really getting those blocking assignments and making his life very easy out of the backfield. Shotgun, 3 to the left here.
Zimmerman in motion. And they're going to give it up the middle. Into the end zone for a touchdown is Connor Cullimore. And that running game just keeps on chugging along for the Hawks.
Well, I think the offensive line heard what I said, because they did the exact same thing on that play. No one in the area of the running game there. Wide open hole. Kind of like that Ezekiel Elliott touchdown against the Steelers last year. Looked like the same thing, right up the middle, easy hole. No one near him for the easy touchdown.
And now Highland holding a commanding lead. Let me remind you, just over 6 minutes remaining in the first half. 34-2, 35-2, barring the extra point. Which, per usual, is good by Austin McNamara.
Just to put this in perspective a little bit, the Hawks have already broken their highest in-game scoring total this season, which was 29 against Corona del Sol. So kind of an offensive performance that we haven't seen from them yet this season. I mean, putting up 21, then 24, then 14 since that Corona del Sol game. I mean, they're not even at halftime, and they've already set their highest scoring mark so far. So everything's working.
An unbelievable job by the offense. Brock Farrell, credit to him and his coaches down there to bounce back last week. I mean, it's a win in the scorebook. It's a 14-6 win. But when you come out and you only put up 14 points against a Brophy team that beat this Westview team only by 1 point, this is a definite win. This is a definite bounce back. It's a great sign to see for the Hawks.
That's exactly what you want to see with a huge game looming next week against, I believe, an undefeated team in Perry.
That is correct. It's a big game.
This is the kind of confidence boost you have to love if you're the Hawks.
Jeff, I'm glad you brought that up. There may or may not be a live stream next week. Obviously, the game is on the road. We have people in discussions with the people over at Perry High School, seeing if maybe we can set up a live stream, because that's a big game. That's no... I mean, if Perry wins tonight, and if Highland holds on tonight, which
To a 35-2 lead.
To a 35-2 lead, which they should. That is by far and away the game of the week in 6A football.
Absolutely. I'm sure any chance we get to hear the lovely voice of Jordan Lank on a call, it's a win-win.
Jeff, it's great having you in here. For those of you joining us for the first time, this is Jeff's first time in the booth with us.
I'm liking it. It's hot, but I'm liking it.
It is pretty toasty in here.
I don't know. Highland looks good. Maybe they've got a little good luck charm up here in the box.
Big shout out to Alex Didion, my partner who is currently away in San Francisco visiting some of his family. Alex, we miss you. Glad you're tuning in.
Oh, man. Nothing doing for this offense. Another great pursuit, sack, nowhere to go.
Yeah. Fowler's not much time to throw for this Westview offense, something that we saw last week with the Hawks. Brophy's defensive line really breaking through that offensive that offensive line of Highland. Herbert didn't have much time to throw. Last week, Caleb Herbert had a red zone rushing touchdown, dove for the pylon. So similar to what we saw last week for the Hawks is what's happening now for the Knights. Fowler is looking to his left. Incomplete, knocked away, but a flag flies in.
Nice coverage, but I mean, he did make a little contact before the ball got there, and the ref called it. So tough break for Highland. Looked like another 3 and out, another quick stop into a drive, but the PI negates another strong defensive performance in this possession.
Nice job by Ryan Martinez on the coverage, although he will get called for the penalty.
Westview going to the air a little bit more. Obviously, the run game was working early on with that great run up the left side from Curry on the first play. But since then, nothing really doing out of the backfield. So they've had to mix it up and throw the ball a little more. Hasn't obviously worked that much, but they're going with it. It's certainly interesting to see how they do.
Fowler's the give to Curry, and he is swallowed up behind the line.
Honestly, looked like the defense might get to Fowler's before they got to Curry. It was how easy it was for them to get in the backfield there. Just great pursuit again. It's
great job by Dallin Clement there.
Clement, yeah, impressive pursuit. We've seen his name a lot tonight. So he's been getting in the backfield pretty much at will.
Second and 13 for the Knights, excuse me. 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first half that has been totally dominated by the Hawks. Flag on the play.
That'll be delay of game. Another 5 yards back for the Knights.
Second and very long now. Second and 18 to be exact from the 30-yard line. Fowler's a man in motion, whom he gives to. Tackled for a gain of maybe a yard or two. Noah Evans in on the tackle. Third and 17. For the Knights. The last play, a gain of 1.
Not sure how many times they've gained 17 yards so far tonight.
3:21 remaining. Fowler is pressured again. Somehow able to complete to Albert Curry.
Great edge rush there from Highland. Forcing the quick throw, a little overthrown, completed. Not going to be even close to enough for a first down. I think we'll see the punt team again as this one just very quickly gets away from Westview.
A 4-yard gain there, as you said, Jeff. Not going to be enough for Westview. going to have to punt it away. Brandon Gonzalez on for the Knights. That ball's going to take a Highland bounce.
That may have hit a Hawk before it hit the ground. Looks like it may have been deflected, but no worries there. They get on it. Ball at the 30 to start this drive.
Looked like it hit number 17, Cameron Tellinghuisen's hand for the Knights. A good job by Highland to jump on top of that ball before anything came of it.
Got 2.5 minutes left here in the first half. It's been all Highland. They could easily go into the half up by 40 points.
Now, with the way that they've been moving the ball down the field, I don't doubt that.
This may be the kind of game where we see some backups in by the time the third quarter rolls around.
Trail the give on the ground again for the Hawks. That's Huffman.
That's a man's run there by Huffman, just breaking tackles, not going down, refusing to be taken down by any defenders, fighting his way. I mean, he was hit at the line of scrimmage, goes for 10 yards. That's an impressive run. That's a man's run right there.
Good enough for a Hawks first down. Two minutes and 7 seconds remaining.
Empty backfield here, 5 wide for the Hawks.
Herbert kind of pump faked and looked to his right. Herbert's still looking for a man. And did he complete that pass?
Really impressed by Herbert's awareness on that play to A, move up in the pocket, evade to the right side, not cross the line of scrimmage, and find a man open, cutting back on the line on the sideline. Really good awareness, really good composure coming out of the backfield to make that throw by Herbert. That was impressive.
Not sure if that was Jacob Wood or Elliott Moe on that play.
It's going to be another empty backfield.
Herbert too wide to each side. Play action after the motion by Bond. Herbert going deep, looking for Cullimore, who pulls it down at the 10-yard line regardless of the pressure, and it looks like Cullimore may be hurt.
You know, a beautiful route, getting a step early on the route, getting ahead of his defensive back, and getting some space for Cullimore. Beautiful throw by Herbert. Good, great spiral. Found him, let him, put it right where he needed to put it, and Cullimore gets under it. Amazing catch. Huge gain. It looks like they're going to the area to put this one away before the half. Otherwise, this one's pretty much out of reach.
Oh, the score aside, Connor Cullimore helped to the sideline there. Jacob Wood, the carry for a couple of yards inside the red zone. Just over 1 minute, 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining in the first half.
Another shotgun look here from Herbert.
Herbert looking left. Touchdown Hawks! Elliott Moe gets in on the touchdown action. His first receiving touchdown of the night. And the Hawks just keep piling on.
Yeah, routine pitch and catch there. Herbert, quick snap, quick fake to the back. Moe's there on the slant route. About as simple as you can draw it up, and it's going to be 41-2 with the extra point upcoming. So a 40-point lead entering the half. After the way this game started, you really can't ask for a much better 98% of the first half if you're Highland.
McNamara's point after makes it a 42-2 game. Jeff, I can't say enough how amazing it is that the Hawks have completely taken control of this ballgame. That is 6 unanswered touchdowns after the opening play.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, you mentioned before in this call that this is my first time seeing this team play. when that ball goes over the quarterback's head and out the end zone, I'm like, wow, that's not the start you want. And then, like that, they're right back in it. They're moving the ball on offense. The defense is dominant. It was like night and day from that first minute of play to what we've seen since. I mean, credit to the coaching staff for keeping the guys composed. Credit the players for not panicking, playing their game, doing what they need to do, doing what they've been coached to do to stay cool, stay collected, and really just take absolute control of this game. We're not even at halftime, and it's already an absolute blowout. I mean, it's by far the most emphatic half of football Highland has had this season. So very impressed.
McNamara's kick into the end zone. Westview has really wanted to return one of those kicks.
When you got a kicker who's kicking the ball into the end zone like it's nothing, you're eventually going to want to take one out because a lot of these guys, kick returning is what they do. Kick returning is their main role on this team, and if you keep kicking into the end zone and taking away that entire facet of the game, that's going to get frustrating. So credit to Highland for being able to McNamara to be able to really just take away the return game from Westview.
Give on the ground there.
The short run up the middle.
.30 seconds left in the first half. 2nd and 4 for the Knights. I'd like to give another big shout out to our technical director tonight, Jordan Evans. Those players that you see pop up on your screen are the guys that are making the tackles and making the plays out there for Highland. Tate Stevens there. There's another one of those graphics. Those graphics designed by Bella Cisneros. Bella's actually down on the field right now with our field camera. And that's going to do it for the first half. The clock hits 00. And we have not said it enough tonight. An unbelievable job by the Hawks to come back from a 2-0 deficit after the opening safety. The first play of the game, the ball snapped over the head of Herbert into the end zone, out of the back of the end zone for a safety. The Hawks put up 6 unanswered touchdowns. Unheard of.
And you mentioned the safety. It didn't end there. I mean, Westview got the ball for that safety and drove the ball inside the red zone. I think that missed field goal is really where we saw this game flip on its head. Because, I mean, for the most part, Westview had control for that first minute or two where they were driving the ball pretty much with ease. Curry with a great run play to get them set up in scoring position. But Highland gets that missed field goal and just runs with it. So, like you said, really impressive. Well on their way to that historic 5-0 start. Looks like some homecoming festivities on their way out to the field.
We are going to head to break for halftime. It's a 20-minute halftime today. And for those of you watching the video back, just skip ahead 20 minutes if you wouldn't like to see the halftime festivities. We'll be back on the call. We promise we're not going anywhere. It's a 42-2 ball game in favor of the Hawks. We will be back right after halftime. You're watching Highland Hawks football on YouTube.
And we're back from halftime here after a lot of homecoming festivities. Jordan and I back on the call here at beautiful Highland High School. It's 42-2 in favor of the Hawks. Jordan, welcome back for the third quarter.
Thank you, Jeff. Again, you mentioned 42-2. An unbelievable first half. If you're just joining us for these Highland Hawks, a safety to start the game gave all of the momentum to the Westview Knights, who come in undefeated. The Knights go up 2-0 after the first play of the game. The ball is kicked away again by the Hawks to the Knights. The Knights miss a field goal, and that's when the momentum really shifted from Westview into the hands of the Highland Hawks. 6 unanswered touchdowns. The score sits at 42-2 thanks to Brock Farrell's squad.
Jordan, we talked before the game. In terms of this 42-2, we talked about how the running game was going to be key for this team that's got a bunch of guys who can run the football between Cullimore, Huffman, Wood, and of course quarterback Caleb Herbert. But I think overall, the run game has been there to establish momentum for the offense, but it's been the big passing plays that have really broken things open. There was one early that I think made it 28-2 in favor of Highland, where a little play-action play out of the pistol. Herbert finds his man down the field. It was Tanner Lunt, getting open down the field, a little underthrown, got to the end zone. Lunt again comes out of the slot position for the next touchdown that really blew things open to make it 35-2. And I think it's the passing game with those big plays off the arm of Herbert that has really allowed the Hawks to take over. On the defensive side of the ball, the defensive front has been stellar, giving no push to the Westview Knights in terms of, allowing them to get anywhere, whether it's through the run game, the pass game. They're eating up everything, getting to the quarterback, eating up runs in the backfield. As a whole, the defensive front has been pretty much able to impose its will on any type of play outside of that first possession that Westview had. Really impressive. I mean, in the last 6 quarters, they've allowed 8 points, 2 of which on a safety. So really, this defense has been pitching an overall shutout since the beginning of that Brophy game, minus a couple scores. So it's really impressive to see them just dominate this game so far. Offense has taken note. 42-2 is the score. I don't expect much of a change in the third quarter unless we see some starters start to come out, which is very likely with this big of a lead. Now we're just waiting through warm-ups. Guys get back on the field for the second half kickoff, which will go the way of the Westview Knights, who deferred to the second half on the opening kickoff. So Jordan, if you're one of the many Highland Hawks fans here in attendance filling up these homestands, you've got to be pretty happy right now, don't you think?
Well, absolutely. You're here for homecoming. It's an unbelievable atmosphere. Great homecoming ceremony at halftime. The fans have packed the stands here for these Hawks, really supporting their 4-0 ball club, looking to go 5-0 again for the first time in school history.
Yeah, I mean, that 5-0 start looks very likely. I mean, we talked about it a lot as the kind of the big headline of this game is that they can go 5-0 for the first time in their school history, which would be a very impressive feat. And certainly we talked about a little bit towards the end of the first half how key this is in terms of building up momentum going into next week, which is an even bigger matchup.
Yeah, they've got the team out there in Perry. They got to travel down the road just a little bit. It's a big game. It's a very big game for this team, especially if they pull away with this win here. Looking to go 6-0. We'll get you a score on the Perry game as soon as we can if we have the abilities.
Yeah, that'll be a key game next week between two teams that will potentially both enter that game 5-0. But here comes the kickoff.
Austin McNamara out on the field to boot it away for Highland to start the second half, 42-2.
And it's another touchback.
What a surprise, Jeff. All we've seen from McNamara tonight, touchbacks, no returns yet for the Westview Knights.
Little split backfield here to start.
Scott Fowler's under center. They give to number 2, DJ Romero. First time we've been able to call Romero's name tonight. Romero, a senior, 6'1", 180 pounds. Tate Stevens again pops up on your screen. Stevens making a nice tackle on the play. Stevens a big part of this ball club tonight, as is Jacob Wood. Fowler's again the give. That's Jacob Olivas. Olivas tackled at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, again with these short run plays for Westview. Not much doing. 3rd and short here. Probably go to the ground again. We'll see if they have enough after this next play for the first down. But I'd expect another run play at a 3rd and short because while the run game hasn't been that great, neither has the passing game.
Referees are going to blow the play dead, excuse me. Looks like a timeout taken by the Knights, their first of the half. Fans, we'd like to take this time to remind you that there is a Jeep raffle happening for this Highland Hawk football team this season. The Hawks football team and the Highland Hawk band, the Hawk Cheer, and POM are selling $25 raffle tickets to help raise money for their booster clubs. For only $25, you have a chance to win a brand new 2017 Jeep Wrangler. That is an absolutely crazy thought. You buy one ticket, you have a chance to win a brand new Jeep. Help support your Highland football band, Cheer, and POM by purchasing $25 raffle tickets at the table near the concession stand. And at the same time, give yourself a chance to win an awesome 2017 Jeep Wrangler. Ball on the ground to Curry.
Yeah, as I expected, they go to the ground again. They've had some success early on today with that sweep play to Curry. It's enough for a first down. Going back to what they do, a little run game with Curry. You know, at this point in the game, kind of just have to, take it in stride.
Fowler is lining up under center. 2 men in the backfield. It's going to be an end-around sweep.
Curry just eating up in the backfield. Great pursuit from the defensive line again. It's Tyler Brady there. He's had a couple nice plays today. A couple TFLs, looking pretty solid on that defensive front.
Of course, for you less football-savvy fans out there, TFLs, the technical term for tackles for loss. Well, you're right, Jeff. A good job by Brady. Fowler's under center, rolling to his right, scampering, and is going to get out of bounds at around the 28 or 29-yard line. A loss of 3 on the play. 3rd and 16 now. Curry to the outside, breaks free. Enough for the first down.
Curry's starting to find some of that running room that he had in the early going in this game. Gets some nice space on a sweep out to the left. Good blocking to give him a little seam up the left hash there for the big first down, and just near midfield at the 45.
Fowler setting up in shotgun formation. I apologize. He was under center. Looked like the quarterback. Nonetheless, another give to Curry. A good gain of about 7 or 8 yards. Second and 2 now for the Knights with 8:42 remaining in the third quarter. Fowler's another handoff.
Good pressure there, but nice patience by the running back Curry to get enough for a first down.
Looked like they didn't go to Curry that time. They went to DJ Romero.
Excuse me. Nonetheless, a first down for the Hawks as they get a little methodical drive going here.
Another give on the ground. That is Curry.
I know all we've been talking about for the past 2.5 quarters has been how great Highlands looked. But if you're the Westview Knights after a rough first half, you have to be pleased with what you're seeing to start this third quarter, because a 40-point game in the second half isn't really the most surmountable lead. But the fact that they're putting up a fight, getting back to what they do, and running down the field is certainly a nice sight for sore eyes on the Knights sideline.
Another give to Curry. Gain of about 2. Again, Tate Stevenson on that tackle. We've said his name a lot on the broadcast. Done an unbelievable job of stopping this Knights offense. Fowler's rolling to his right, completes over the middle. That's Caden Staples, who's taking it to the pylon. Touchdown, Knights.
Really impressive play for Staples to get open and really use the full length of the field to get some space. I mean, if he decided to be a little greedy and just force the ball up the middle, probably wouldn't have gotten to the end zone, but he used the entire length of the field to get out wide, get some space out to the left sideline, dive for the pylon. That's really what Westview needed to get a little bit of momentum. That's the first offensive points of the game for the Knights. Take nothing away from what the Hawks have done on defense, but really nice to see for Westview that they're getting something going on offense here in the third.
Staples also out for the hold. The kick by Brandon Gonzalez is up and good. So it's a 42-9 game after a nice passing touchdown from Scott Fowlers to Caden Staples. 6:48 remaining in the third quarter.
So that drive took up half of this third quarter. I mean, certainly a nice methodical drive. I mean, almost entirely run plays until that last pass to Staples for the touchdown. But a little optimism for Westview after a rough first half, that's for sure.
Good job by Albert Curry to establish that running game. Able to set up that pass by Fowlers to Staples for the touchdown.
Now we'll see if some of the offensive starters, the defensive starters came out to start the half. We'll see what they do with the offensive playmakers as far as giving them rest or keeping them on the field for the time being. I think if this game stays the way it is, we'll get to a point where the starters come out, get a little rest going into next week's game against Perry. But for now, we'll have to wait and see what the coaching staff decides to do with its starters here on the offensive side of the ball.
Dayton Huffman catches the kick, hands off to Jacob Wood. And the Hawks will start around the 16-yard line. We are getting news from the sideline, from the Hawks sideline, that is. Connor Cullimore, who was hit hard on that reception late in the first half, has not returned, and he is currently on the sideline injured. We will make sure to update you on his status. Cullimore, of course, one of the three-headed monster for this Hawks team, really a key to their running game.
Yeah, he's been a beast so far today. He had a great catch on that play that he got injured. But I think when you mention that three-headed monster, they've clearly got depth at his position. They'll be okay without him, but it's certainly not the kind of loss you want to have depending on how long he's out at this point. I mean, at this point in the game, not a huge deal, but you have to hope he's back for next week in a huge game.
That pass complete to Ty Bryant. Good job by Bryant to get a couple of extra yards. Looks like they will back Highland up, however. Huffman on the carry there. We apologize for the delay. 2nd and 12 now. 6 minutes remaining. We are halfway through the third quarter as the whistle blows and a flag flies.
Yeah, that hard count has been getting them to jump on multiple occasions throughout this game. You can kind of see the frustration there from the defensive lineman, knowing that it's just those mental errors at this point.
Makes it a 2nd and 7 for the Hawks. Herbert to the outside, completed to Tanner Lunt. Lunt tackled at the 21-yard line. Flag on the play will go against Highland. It's a holding penalty. So Jeff, for a team up 42-9, still got to play sound football. Can't really be having these penalties backing you up.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, it is a 33-point game, but there's an aspect of that where with a big game next week, you can't just sit down and let this game salt away. You need to stay on the gas pedal and keep this emphatic win. I should say keep the momentum from this emphatic first half, I should say, rolling into the rest of this game, because you really want to be riding high throughout going into the second half.
Herbert, a bullet over the middle, complete. That's Noah Burdick on the big play for the Hawks.
And that's exactly what they needed, Jordan, after a couple penalties, to break outside of the shadow of their own goalposts. I think you saw a great move by Burdick to see the open left side of the field and really break that direction with no one really in coverage on that side of the field after the catch, because his route had him running towards the middle, but he breaks out the left side of the field after catching the ball, and that was a huge decision in order to get that huge gain down the sideline.
Jeff, what caught my attention there was the unbelievably strong arm of Caleb Herbert. Put that ball on a dime right at the numbers of Burdick.
Yeah, that was one of his more impressive throws today. I mean, he's had some nice throws, a couple of them a little underthrown, made up for by some nice route running, but that was the first one where he's really put it perfectly on the dime, right where it needed to be, and a nice bullet with some punch behind it.
Herbert does some dancing after the play action. Man in motion for the Hawks. They're going to give the ball to Jacob Wood. Wood powering his way through the defensive line of the Knights. Good for a first down on the 2nd and 7.
Yeah, just a little more of that steady run down the field, short runs here and there to keep the ball moving.
First and 10 now from the 15-yard line for Herbert. Again, a man in motion, and they're going to give it to him. Trying to get around the edge is Ty Bryant. Unable to do so, will lose a yard.
Yeah, nowhere really to go there. I mean, credit the Westview defense, really reading that one, weeding it out in the backfield. Nowhere really to go for the running back.
It was actually a loss of 3. So 2nd and 13 now. 3 minutes to go in the third. Play action, Herbert rolling to his right. Looking for a man. Incomplete. Almost had Elliott Moe.
Herbert again, though, that strong arm, just a little behind the receiver. I mean, it's tough to hit a guy like that on the front corner of the end zone when you're rolling out. At this point, kind of throw you're going to want to make, but take another shot on 3rd down.
Caleb Herbert and the Hawks offense looking to the sideline for their next play on 3rd and 13 from the 17-yard line. Herbert takes a snap and hands to Wood. Looks like for no gain.
Yeah, I think at this point with 2.5 minutes, I mean, both of these drives have salted a lot of clock. There's not much worry about a comeback, if there even was at the beginning of the half. At this point, if you're either team, you just want to play solid football for the rest of this, the remainder of this game. Go into next week with something good to hang your hat on if you're Westview. Go into next week for Highland, knowing you played a dominant 4 quarters. That's pretty much what this rest of this game comes down to, these last 14 or so minutes of football for both of these teams.
Austin McNamara on for the field goal on 4th and 13 there. Knocks it right through the uprights. 45-9 now in favor of the Hawks. An impressive performance tonight by McNamara. We started to tell you a little bit about McNamara. A tall, lanky guy. Again, we said earlier, the number 6 punter in the nation. As according to Chris Saylor Kicking, that's the top high school kicking guru, who ranks and rates kickers, punters, and long snappers. Got an interesting story. Had a lot of success in his high school career, but this last spring had his lung collapse. His lung actually collapsed while he was up at a camp in Seattle. Spent a lot of time in the hospital. He had lung surgery, 2 procedures, spent 23 days in the hospital. And after all that time, finally came home and started kicking as soon as he was cleared. An incredible story. Austin McNamara. So the first time that the Knights have been able to return a kick has been this kick by McNamara, returned by Caden Staples out to the 27-yard line. Ryan Martinez on the play. Going back to McNamara, Austin had always been an athlete, always competed in different sports, but the turning point for his football career was freshman year. Hawks down by 2 points with 2 seconds before halftime, and McNamara made a 45-yard field goal against Centennial High School to put the Hawks in front. The players and the parents went crazy, and that kick, Austin says, changed the entire course of his high school athletic future, and football at that point became his number one priority. McNamara, a name Highland fans are hoping to see on a college roster coming up pretty soon. He's got one more year here after this year. McNamara just a junior and already doing great things for these Hawks. Scott Fowler is in shotgun formation, looking deep to the left side of the field, incomplete.
We saw a little bit of Scott Fowler's downfield ability as far as how the strength of his arm. Kind of tough to hit a receiver in stride from 60 yards away, but the distance itself was impressive. We'll see if they go to that deep ball again soon, with just under 2 to go in the third quarter.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Fowler is lining up under center. The snap and the give.
He got rocked.
Yeah, you're right, Jeff. Albert Curry hit hard there. Nice play by Griffin Nielsen, number 47, to come in on the tackle. Third and 6 for the Knights. Bobby White on the carry, and he is stopped by a barrage of Hawks, including number 42, Tate Stevens, and number 50, Trey Davis. 4th and 9 now. The punt team will come on for Westview yet again. This third quarter has gone relatively quickly. Just 35 seconds remaining as Gonzalez receives the football. A very short punt. Might have gone off the top of Gonzalez's foot, but it will take a Westview bounce. Ends up at the 40-yard line of the Hawks. Definitely not the strongest punt we've seen tonight from Brandon Gonzalez, but it sets the Hawks up with terrific field position to start their next drive.
Looking like we might see a replacement here for Caleb Herbert. I could be wrong, but it looks like we're seeing Mason Trail, backup quarterback, out there in shotgun.
Mason Trail earned the starting job out of camp for the Hawks. That is Trail out there. Romero fumbles the ball. Recovered by Westview. So just as we were getting started talking about Mason Trail, Mason Romero, the running back, his first touch of the game is a fumble. Westview recovers, and they've got the ball in unbelievable territory.
And not exactly the best play of the game for Mason Trail. I mean, obviously not his fault, but one play, one fumble.
It's a mishandle by Mason Romero there. You like that move, Jeff, taking Herbert out of the game, giving the ball to Mason Trail?
I do. I might have even done it earlier. I mean, you're up by 40 some points. I mean, there's no reason to take him out necessarily. I mean, there's nothing that says you have to, but there's no real reason to keep him in there. It's not like it's really going to hurt the team's chances of winning. I mean, it just depends on how much rest you want to get him, how much experience you want to get him, and the balance of that in a 45-9 game.
At the end of the third quarter, the score, the Highland Hawks 45 and the Westview Knights 9. And with just 1 quarter of football left, this one seems to be just about wrapped up for the Hawks, barring an unbelievable comeback by the Knights, excuse me. Start the fourth quarter, both teams switch sides. The pass completed by Fowlers. Tyler Brady in on the tackle of number 19, Rafael Bocanegra, the tight end. Third and two.
Expect them to go to the ground here in a third and short.
Fellers, they give up the middle. And they will move the chains, a first down for the Hawks, or for the Knights, excuse me. Fowler's under center gives to Jacob Olivas. Good for a gain of 2 or 3. Just a gain of 1 on the play. It's 2nd and 9. Griffin Nielsen on the tackle. Well, we talked about it earlier in the broadcast, Jeff. Normally it's really hot out here for these Friday Night Lights games here in Arizona. Kickoff tonight, it was around 90 degrees. We checked last, it was 89. But after just checking the weather forecast, a beautiful 85 degrees. As Albert Curry carries the ball inside the 5, good for a first down. I don't think you can ask for a better night from Mother Nature, especially after last weekend we saw thunder, we saw lightning, a little bit of rain here and there.
Yeah, I heard about a lot of games that got affected by that. I was up at a game between Shadow Mountain and Paradise Valley, and the weather was fine. So I guess that was out here in the East Valley that they saw some of that weather. Nothing to go in for Curry out of the backfield.
Nice job by the Highland defense. to wrap Curry up and take him down for a loss. 2nd and goal now. Nine minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Fowlers takes the snap. Throws incomplete. Intended for DJ Romero. And the clock stops at 9 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the quarter. Third and goal now for the Hawks. 9 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the ball game. Scott Fowlers will line up in the shotgun formation with the receiver to each side and a running back in the backfield. Fowlers, a dump out. Looks like Rafael Bocanegra takes the ball into the end zone for a nice touchdown.
Yeah, nice play by Fowlers to get Westview into double digits. Stayed patient there in the backfield. Didn't get panicked by the pursuit of the Highland defensive line. Found Bocanegra for the quick touchdown, getting Westview back within 30.
The extra point is up and good. Makes it a 45-15 game. Correction, that makes it a 45-16 game. So Jeff, for the Hawks, they've done a nice job. Did a nice job in the first half. In the second half, they've allowed 2 touchdowns. I mean, that might be just a result of being up so much. They may have the second team defense in there. But for Brock Farrell's team, what do you think is going right now?
As far as the second half is concerned, you mean? I think don't let the fact that they've been outscored 14-3 in the second half make it seem like they're not playing good football. I think any team who's up 42-2 after 2 quarters is going to get a little complacent, is going to get a little relaxed, and a team who's down by 40 is going to keep fighting for every point they can put on the board. So I think that plays in a lot of it. They're still moving the ball well. They still look good on the defensive end, getting pressure, getting into the backfield pretty much at will. I think it's just a matter of the fact that at this point, there's not really a reason to go all out on every single play when you're already pretty much have notched a win, a convincing win. So I don't think there's any reason to be alarmed or concerned by the way they've played in the third and early fourth quarter, because it's just the nature of the fact they were up by 40 points entering the half.
The Knights are going to have to re-kick the ball. Not sure what the call there was. However, it looks to be a 5-yard penalty. Ty Bryan back to receive the kickoff for the Hawks, who lead 45-16. Little squib kick by Gonzalez. Bryant unable to field it, but he jumps on top of it at the 18 or 19-yard line of the Hawks. 8:54 remaining in the ball game. We'd like to let you all know to stay with us as we will be down on the field after the game for some post-game interviews.
So it's Highland ball here with Mason Trail coming out of the shotgun, the backup quarterback today, a junior wearing number 12 for the Highland Hawks. He's got 3 to his left, 1 man in the backfield out of the gun.
Trail incomplete rather, to the far side of the field, intended for number 81, Trey Cutchin.
Yeah, a little bubble screen there to the left. Well blocked, well executed. Just a little low throw by Mason Trail, a little below the hands of the intended receiver. So no gain on that play, bringing up 2nd and 10. Another shotgun for Trail. 2 to his right. Hands this one off. A 6-yard gain there up the middle for number 22, Mason Romero, the senior.
Nice job by Romero there to get a couple of yards. Flag on the play, however.
I think this is the drive, Jordan, where you just see Highland start to kill this clock. A little over 8 minutes to go. And I think this is the kind of game, this is the kind of drive where you're just going to see them really put this one away, slowly grind the clock if they can keep running the football well.
Trail the hand to Zimmerman. A big tackle on the other end by number 32, Sebastian Knox. Nice job by Knox to get into the backfield. 3rd and 19 now for the Hawks.
Yeah, Knox, not the biggest guy on the field, 5'10", 160, but he's making his presence felt and making some noise. And I don't just mean in the metaphorical sense. That tackle had some power behind it. And he made his presence felt there on 2nd down. 3rd and long here for the Hawks. Maybe what I said about killing the clock wasn't exactly accurate if they don't pick this one up. Pistol here for Trail.
Trail to give to Mason Romero. Down at about the 19-yard line. Brings up a 4th and 11 for the Hawks. Austin McNamara and the punt team will take the field. .12 remaining in the game as the clock continues to run. 45-16, a great game by Brock Farrell's Hawks, well on their way to the first 5-0 start in school history.
Nice spiral punt, putting the ball inside the Westview 40 at the 37. McNamara showing several different kinds of punts. He's gone end over end. He's gone spiral. He's done some line drive stuff. Clearly, he's got a diverse ability in terms of the different ways he can punt the football, depending on the situation and the kind of field position you've got for the opposing team.
Just 6:52 left in the ball game.
Little shotgun look here. Fowler.
Scott Fowler is a nice drop, looking deep down the near sideline. Incomplete.
Beautiful route to get past the first and second lines of the secondary. Really turned on the Jets there when he got around the 35-yard line and burst into the open field. Beautiful throw, just bounced right off of his breadbasket. That could have been a nice play, a nice highlight on a rough day for Westview, but it falls to the ground incomplete.
Jared Garcia, a nice chance to make that play. Fourth down now. Westview will keep their offense out on the field. Second down, excuse me.
As has been the theme of the day, nowhere to go on a run up the middle. 3rd and 10 upcoming.
Good stop on the play by Anthony Silva, seeing his first action of the night. Fowler's play action. Looking down the far sideline, going deep again. Incomplete. There may be a flag coming in.
Definitely defensive pass interference. Didn't turn around. I mean, not a ton of contact, but enough to garner the flag. I think whether these passes are being completed or not, we're seeing that Fowler's has quite the downfield arm. Guy's got a cannon firing this ball around the field. Just a drop here, a PI there, away from, getting a really big play. But the pass interference should at least bring a first down for Westview.
And unlike in the NFL, pass interference in high school, not a foul, not a spot of the foul ball. That doesn't make any sense. It's not a spot foul. Thank you to our wonderful people here explaining to me the correct wording as the ball came loose.
That play was just a mess, Jordan. Flags flying, balls flying.
I can't get my words together.
Not the best 30 seconds of football. But that is correct. Pass interference, not a spot foul in the high school game. Just 15 yards.
Another penalty on the Hawks. That'll back the ball up. Another 5 yards. 1st and 5 now for Westview, who trails this ball game by 29 points. They give to Curry, taken down in the backfield. Nice job by Ryan Baez to get in on the tackle. Correction, that's Ryan Baez with a V. And I'm really screwing it all up here, Jeff.
It's been a long game, Jordan. It's been a long week.
Timeout taken on the field. We'd like to take this time to thank some of our sponsors. One Call Contractors, Acacia Edodontics, Academy Mortgage, Amanda Dana, Easy Water Extractor, Beehive, Bennett and Porter Insurance Services, Blake Bennett at Window Pro, Canyon Rim Dental, Charles and Angela Smith, Chrysler, Dairy Queen, Eagle Claw Flooring, Edwin C. Lamoureux, Forever Young Foundation, Frost Orthodontics, Michael and Denise Huffman, R&K Building, Remax Solutions, Robert Allen, TCH Plumbing, The Brady's, and Virginia Hardwood Company of Arizona. Looks like we're ready to go again on the field. Fowler calls a man in motion. Flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be a false start penalty against the Knights. Five minutes and 17 seconds to go. 3rd and 13 now. Westview will play action. The ball knocked loose. Picked up by the quarterback, Fowlers, who's going to kick it down the field complete. An interesting play there. Ball knocked away by the Hawks defense. Scott Fowlers picked it up, threw it down the field to Caden Staples, but a flag on the play.
Talk about making something out of nothing there. Making a fumble turn into a 40-yard gain. Whether or not it'll come back is yet to be seen. Looking based on where the players are on the field, it looks like it's coming back. But we've got an injury on the field right there on your right side of on the bottom right corner of your screen.
Not sure who that is down there on the field for Highland. But he's down on his back. Everybody taking a knee. Athletic trainers as well as head coach Brock Farrell down there with the injured player. Could be one of a couple guys. Looks like the first number on his uniform is a 2. Likely either Hunter Short or Ryan Martinez, as he's helped up. It's number 23, Jonah Lomu. Lomu has to be helped off the field by the trainers. We hope Jonah's okay. It's like a leg injury. They'll take a look at him on the athletic trainers table.
And back to football now after the rough injury, just around the 4:20 mark. Westview out of the pistol.
Fowler's pass almost intercepted, tipped by number 23, Bijo Juarez. Fourth and 37 now for the Knights, with 4 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the ball game. A longer game here tonight. Started at 7 o'clock. It is now 9:18 p.m. local time. 2 hours and 18 minutes. As Gonzalez will boot the ball away. Nobody back to receive. And it's going to take a Knights bounce. Down inside the Hawks 25. Ball knocked loose there. Highland keeps possession. 2nd and 9 now. So for the Hawks, they will move to 5-0 for the first time in school history as Trail gives the ball to Romero. Romero gets 4 or 5 yards. But with the win for the Hawks comes a loss for the Knights, who move to 0-4 for the first time in school history. A rough start for this Westview squad. A couple of close losses their first 3 weeks.
It has been really their first blowout loss. I mean, they lost by 7 to Basha, 1 to Brophy Prep, and then I believe it was another close loss by 6 to Horizon last Friday. So this is I mean, when you have 3 close losses like that, you got to come into a game like this with some optimism, knowing you're right there. But 45 to 16 is not what you want. Showed some life in the second half, to their credit, but a tough game all around.
Trail to give to Romero to keep the clock running. 3rd and 3 now. 2:27 left.
Another man down on the field. He gets up slowly. That's number 42 for Westview, Angel de la Huerta.
A correction, they're going to give Highland the first down there. The previous play was 3rd and 3, excuse me.
And we near the 2-minute mark now. Highland assaulting this one away out of the shotgun is Mason Trail.
Trail complete over the middle. Number 13, Noah Burdick. Second and 5 now for the Hawks as the clock just keeps on ticking. Just over a minute and a half remaining in the ball game. We remind you, we will be down on the field talking to your Highland Hawks as soon as the ball game is over. First down there for the Hawks, and that just about does it. Brock Farrell and the Hawks sweating out the last moments of the ball game here. As the clock hits the 1-minute mark, Mason Trail is going to set up in victory formation. Trail takes a knee, and we will likely see one more of those before this ball game is over.
Yeah, by now in the NFL, you'd be seeing all the coaches and media rushing the field. But we'll salt this one out to the last second of play, as Highland's going to get this 45 to 16 win, 42 of those points in an all-out dominant first half.
Trail takes a knee, and with 18 seconds, that can just about do it.
It's like a flag on the play.
I stand corrected. Looks like a small skirmish on the field, but nonetheless, the Highland Hawks are soaring high yet again. As the clock hits 00, this ball game is over. And under the Brock Farrell regime, these Highland Hawks are a perfect 5-0 as the fireworks go off here in Gilbert. Unbelievable. An unbelievable win for Highland, 45-16. Pure dominance.
I gotta say, Jordan, those are the two words that would perfectly describe this game. For most part, start to finish, dominant. Offense, defense, all the way around. A dominant game for Highland. 45-16 your final offensively. The run game, Herbert with some nice passes. Defense getting after it, eating up the backfield, getting pressure to the quarterback. Fowlers, all in all sides of the ball. Really a sound win for Highland Hawks.
We're going to send it to break here from Gilbert, Arizona. The Hawks take the victory to move to 5-0 for the first time in school history, 45-16. We will be back momentarily on the field with post-game interviews. Down on the field with Tate Stevens. Tate, the starting middle running back for the Hawks. Great game, moving to 5-0. Tate, how's it feel?
Oh, it feels great. We've worked hard to get here, so it feels great.
First time in school history. That's got to be something for this team to get to 5-0. A great game tonight. Total domination against these Westview Knights. Your thoughts?
It feels good, man. We work hard as a team. Everyone's putting in work at practice, so it feels good to get the reward on a Friday night.
You got into the backfield over and over and over again. I was doing the play-by-play up in the booth. It felt like I was calling your name at least every drive. What do you do on defense to get into the backfield like that?
Good keys and reads that's the main thing. You get a good read, and it's solid. It helps when our defensive linemen are beasting it up, and no lineman can get down to us because they're just absolutely beasts, and they have double team them, and so it just makes our job a lot easier. How good our D-line's doing.
Tate, what's next week for Perry? How you guys feeling?
Oh, I've been excited for this one for a long time. Put a lot of work in. We'll get a lot of film in, and we're excited for this one.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tate. Great game. We're going to bring it back up to Jeff Griffith while we try to get Coach Brock Farrell. And looks like we have Caleb Herbert down on the field as well.
So we're back here in the booth. Jordan Lank down there on the interview, getting some players to hear their take on this 45-16 win. Just talked to Tate Stevens. Here comes Jordan with some more interviews from the field.
Here with Caleb Herbert, starting quarterback for the Hawks. Caleb moved to 5-0. It's an incredible feeling. It must be first time in school history. How's it feel?
It's awesome, man. It was a great team win. We came out strong. We came out from the beginning strong, except for the first bad play. But we threw that back in the back of our minds, and we started out strong, and we just came out as much as we could.
Teammates are amped. For your offense, that running game today really set up the passing game. A lot of runs up the middle by Wood and Cullimore, Dayton Huffman in there as well. And then the play that really stuck out to me was the pass to Tanner Lunt on that side of the field. The play action was beautiful, just a little floater. What were your thoughts on that play?
I just made my read, and I went with my throw. I just trusted my body. I just trust my receivers. We worked that play all day in practice, and my line did an excellent job for me, so I was able to get it off. But other than that, man, it was awesome.
What's next for Perry? Obviously, they're a great program. Came into this week undefeated. You guys are 5-0 for the first time in school history. What's next?
So you got two 5-0 teams going to clash. We both got good athletes. It's going to be who can scheme better, and I think we can scheme way better than them. We got a great head coach, Brock Farrell. He knows what to do on the scheming side of things. So if we go and do our job out there, I think it'll end in our win.
A great game, Caleb.
So I'm talking to you right now, camera.
Yeah. Here with Brock Farrell, head coach for Highland. Brock, it must be an unbelievable feeling going 5-0, your first season here. What is it about these kids that have propelled them to this unbelievable start?
Wow, that's a great question. We got seniors. They wanted to be good from the get-go, and they bought in from the get-go, especially on defense, as you can see. But we got great seniors. Wanted this. I guess I just let the horses run, But I'm just thankful. I feel very blessed and very fortunate, and I'm proud of the kids. They came to play today.
We talked to Caleb I mentioned that the running game for you guys really set up that passing game. Caleb looked great. So did Jacob Wood. So did Connor Cullimore. Obviously, must hurt that he hurt himself. Huffman as well. How does the running game for you guys set up that passing game so beautifully for you to be able to have a guy like Tanner Lunt and go out on a route like that and just easily catch a pass like that?
Well, when defense has to stop the run and they can't do it with 8, they got to start adding bodies. And when you add bodies to the run game, there's lots of open space to throw the balls, which was what happened tonight. You know, we were hitting on all cylinders, and it was fun. I've been waiting for a night like tonight, and it finally happened.
Homecoming night tonight. Obviously, Perry next week, a great program.
Yep.
What are your thoughts going into that game?
They're a great football team, you know. So, but like I told them last week, it doesn't matter who we're playing. We just got to prepare the way we know how to prepare and do it the Hawk way and let the result speak for himself. So we'll see what happens. You come to Highland to play games like next week. So here we go.
Thank you, Coach. Go celebrate. Enjoy.
Thank you.
We held them up pretty good. We were able to get everyone on our team in, so it was a good game. It's a great homecoming game.
So next week, Perry, obviously a very high-profile game.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm pretty confident now. After today, our offense put up a lot of points on Perry, so I'm pretty confident that we're going to be able to go in tomorrow, next week, and put in some good points and on defense. Pretty confident.
New coaching regime for you. Brock Farrell, obviously his first year. What has Coach Farrell brought to this organization, brought to this team?
I love him. He's brought us so much confidence this year. Just him coming in, he's been able to just hype us up, and so it's been pretty awesome. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Have a great one. Go celebrate.
Sure.
Big game. How's it feel, 5-0? It's a big thing.
Oh, it feels amazing. Our whole line just contributed so much to our team. It feels really good to actually execute, yeah.
Get in the end zone for you. I asked you while the audio was out, but why don't you tell the people, how does it feel to be able to contribute to such a big win on such a big night for your school?
It feels good, but once again, O-line and quarterback, it's just, we couldn't do it without them out there. Yeah.
Your thoughts on Perry next week? Great program.
We just got to lock in practice and we hopefully take the win.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ty.
Thank you.
Going to send it back up to Jeff Griffith upstairs. Jeff, take it away for everybody else down here.
All right, Highland fans, that's it here from Friday night's game. 45-16 win for the Hawks. For all those who tuned in, thank you so much. And for all those here at Highland Hawks football, we'll see you next time as the Hawks take on Perry next week. Have a good night.